Hey, Kalaheo Mish family and friends. I just wanted to give you a little update with all the quickly changing things with this COVID-19 situation. You know, there's a lot of speculation going on, some hysteria, some alarm. Some people think they're trying to shut down the church. You know what? You don't shut down the church because the church is God's body and He's still doing His thing because, after all, we're all about loving God, loving others, and making disciples. And that doesn't take place in a building exclusively. That doesn't take place on an hour and a half time slot on a Sunday. That is organic. It always has been. It always will be. So let's move forward through this and embrace our opportunities in the kingdom and not waste a lot of time, effort, and energy pushing back against the uncomfortable guidelines, boundaries, restrictions, because that's not going to do us any good. The Bible says no matter what happens, conduct yourself in a manner worthy of Christ. And what is the worthy manner we need to conduct ourselves in? We need to be ambassadors of Jesus. We need to be able to love God with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love others as ourselves. And in that whole process, now more than ever, we can make disciples. And that'll be awesome. I'm reminded of what it says in Acts 2:4, where it says that the early church continually devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. That's still our devotion. They didn't have all these buildings, all these programs, all these events. They had Jesus and one another. And at the end of the day, we have Jesus and one another. And we have amazing technology that we're going to take advantage of and use to move forward. So a lot of people have been asking me, you know, you can't do anything down at the church building. We're quarantined. We're self-sheltering. Yes, we are. And there are certain types of organizations, businesses, etc., that can perform certain duties during certain times. Right here on the screen, you can see that I put up the little stipulation from the governor's office that the mayor repeated. We fall into one of those categories. We fall into that category in the daytime. We are not considered essential after 9 p.m. and before 5 a.m., and so we are going to do what we can to serve our community from our location here on the south side. I had conversations with Kima this week at length, telling them exactly what our vision is to be a gathering center and a distribution center. I told them exactly what our vision was to use our commercial kitchen to make food for shut-ins, for kupuna, for families without income right now. And they said as long as we fall into Kima compliant guidelines, we can do that because we are one of those organizations that have that privilege and ability. So we're going to move forward with that. A couple things I want to mention to you. This week, we added an extra online tool for you because we thought we would be able to gather maybe 2 or 3 families at a time, groups of 10 or less, and now we're being asked not even to do that. So instead of wasting time and effort pushing against that with whatever personal opinion we have, we're going to just go forward and try to find ways we can still connect. If you go to kalaheomish.churchonline.org, you'll see a perfect tool that we can use. I'll pop my head out of the way a little bit. You see right up here, let me go this side, I'm getting used to all this. Right here is the window that is our online streaming. That is exactly what you'll see on Facebook. That's exactly what you'll see on our website. That's exactly what you'll see on YouTube. This is the live stream. And then over here in this section, you see all these little icons up and down. Some of them are notes. Some of them are places where you can chat. I'm going to have an online pastor live. You can write comments. They can answer you back. We have a place for prayer requests on there. So I encourage you, use this tool. I think it'll be very beneficial for you. Also, we're working on a plan to go even deeper in virtual connection, and we're going to have Hale Pule house churches through Zoom that's going to be watching this online and connecting with each other in Zoom to be able to have face-to-face contact even though we need to be separated for safety and precautions. So I encourage you to take advantage of those tools. Let me share with you a couple of things. Here in Acts 2, it talks about how when there was a need and a crisis, everybody in the church pooled what they had. Some people went so far as to selling property to help others. And so what we want to do is pool what we have. We want to rise up and serve those in need. If you have a little bit extra food, wipes, toiletries, whatever a family needs to get from point A to point B during the week, if you have any extra, or if you're blessed and have the ability to buy extra, our church is going to be, our building is going to be a gathering center. And then it will be a distribution center where people will be able to come by, pick this stuff up, and we'll be able to deliver it to shut-ins, all within the KEMA compliant guidelines. So the number's up there on the screen. Call the church office. If you have something to deliver, Heidi's here Monday through Friday, 9 to 1 in KEMA compliant stipulations, and she can receive it. We also are going to have times where we're going to sort it, we're going to deliver it, we're going to give it to people who drive through our front parking lot. And if you want to be a part of any of that, just email or call us and you can get on the list. A couple other things that we're doing that are within the guidelines. We're going to have home-cooked meals to go. Clayton is going to coordinate some KEMA compliant teams to prepare meals in our commercial kitchen, and that'll be available for pickup and delivery Sunday from 10:30 to about 11. And so if you want to be a part of a KEMA compliant team, please call or email the church office, and Heidi will put you on that list. We'll contact you when the time comes. Also, we're going to be sanitizing and cleaning our campus. So we're going to be coordinating KEMA compliant teams to sanitize and clean our facilities during the time of non-use here, however many weeks this will go. We want our church building to be clean and ready if we're called upon to house people, if we're called upon to serve in an emergency. The other day we had a very temporary tsunami watch, but if that thing was going to be real, they would have to evacuate low-lying areas, and we want to have a clean, healthy facility that we can have KEMA compliant refuge. So if you want to be a part of a cleansing team, call the office, let Heidi know. Also, we're going to be doing live streaming every week, and we want to be compliant with that. And so I've gone through that with the KEMA office, explained what our facility looks like, the size of it. We have a couple buildings, we have multiple floors, and we figured out a way we can have things going on here to serve our purpose of serving our community and be KEMA compliant. So here's the bottom line. I know it's very inconvenient for some of you to not be able to come to a live gathering. I get it. It stresses me out. And we're going to be good neighbors on our island. In Philippians 2, 3, and 4, it says that we should do everything we can to put others above ourselves. I would prefer to meet. I would prefer to hug. I would prefer to do what we do the way we do it. And right now, it's not about me. It's not about you. So instead of getting all aggro and pushing back on this, please don't show up at the building to try to scam the system and come into the service because you know we're here. If you want to be on a KEMA compliant team, let us know. And if you want to come serve, and be a part of our ministry body, we can make a way for that. But let me make it very clear that some of this is very uncomfortable, and I am not going to find the loopholes to be able to endanger anyone. There's a lot of kapuna on this island I have personal friendships with and I love. There's people on this island that are physically, medically at risk, and I love them. And I don't want to be the one who, because of my stubbornness or my selfishness, somehow jeopardize their well-being. So we're going to take a pretty hardcore stand on that, and we ask you to join us. So please, if you want to be a part of being able to be the church, I encourage you, continue to press in, be intimate in Jesus, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Get in the Word like never before. Love others like you love yourself. If you have excess, if you're blessed, your income is not affected by this, consider giving food, supplies. You can give online, finances. We can go through the food bank and get necessary things. Love others like you'd want to love yourself. And look for opportunities to be a disciple maker. We have divine appointment opportunities now like never before. Blessings. Aloha.